Hello, I don't even know if you can hear me yet, but trying to figure out this streaming thing. All right, can you hear me? All right, can you hear me? What's up, Jeff? Happy New Year. All right, can you hear me? All right, good. First time I'm trying this out, Jeff, so I do notice that there's a lot of lag in it, though. There's a whole bunch of lag because I'm watching it over on a cell phone and it's way off. Today I just been training on the pad pretty much today. I took Gifty out there, saw how his pre-trip was doing. He needs another day studying his pre-trip, so I let him go study his pre-trip. So I have another student. His name's Jesus JJ. Can't remember everything he went by, but I worked with him today. We went driving around Springfield. Freaking did awesome. Have the engine compartment down. I have a pre-trip video on it. And or are you asking if Gifty has it down? Has the engine compartment down. Oh, Gifty? Yeah, he has the engine compartment down. He has the driver's side fuel area, and he has the trailer, and he has the coupling. So he needs to get the in-cab, and he needs to get the lights, and then he's ready to test. So, you know, we still got to work on his backing out there because I want his pre-trip at 80% before we start his backing. So once we get his pre-trip up to 80%, then he can start his backing. Happy New Year, Highway Junkie. Had a pretty good Christmas. You know, I got to come home, see the family and all that good stuff. So it was a pretty good Christmas. You know, I got a little tripod right here that my phone's on right now. I got that for Christmas. It's pretty cool. My wife got me a Luigi Max CD, so something to listen to, something to check out. Where's he gonna test at? We're gonna test right here in Springfield. Since we're in Springfield, we're gonna test right here in Springfield. So I've met some of the people watching my YouTube channel while I've been in Springfield at the terminal. A lot of people came up and introduced myself. It was pretty cool. You know, I'm trying to grow right now, see how it goes. But I'm also like trying to let people see, hey, what's training going to be like? Like, I like to teach people, so I'm also using this as a way to learn how to test, like what students go through during PSD. I'm going to Pittston mid-January. That's good, Sean. Can't wait to see you. You know, I'm trying to get back over there to Pittston. I think I'm going to do most of my training over there in Pittston because it's a new pad. It's like a new start over there. So like it's more experience for me. The more places I can test out and the more options I have. Good evening. Good evening, Dean. For the Springfield, you do not have to do complete pre-trip. They only test you on parts of it. That's true. In Springfield, you don't have to do the entire pre-trip start to end. You have to do the lights, the coupling, and the in-cab. Have to do them. Everybody has to do them. But in Springfield, they're going to let you choose between, or I mean, they're not going to let you choose, but they'll pick another one. They'll pick either engine compartment, driver's side fuel area, or trailer. And if you don't get a pick, if they don't pick one of those, then you're going to have a full pre-trip. That means you're going to do front to back. In Pittston, they do the full pre-trip. It's a lot more points. Like, you can get a lot more points. You can miss a lot more stuff because it's more points you can get. So that's right. In Pittston, it's a full pre-trip. Full pre-trip's a lot better. I have to talk to my recruiter about January the 13th. That'll be good. January, because guess what? You're brave enough to come out here in the winter. You know, you're gonna learn how to drive right in the ice and cold. And I tell some of my guys that drive with me right here during the winter time, like I do my PSDs during the winter time. I'm not scared. Yeah, it's not about being scared, but I know how to drive safe. So if you're coming out here during the winter time, you want this more because you're willing to come out here in the bad weather and do whatever it takes. So my winter guys, I love them, and I like to be right there in the seat whenever they're learning how to drive on the bad roads, because I know what, I'm right there, sitting right there next to them, and I can help them make good decisions, and I can teach them more instead of putting my student in a truck on TNT. And the TNT drainer, he's supposed to wake up and help him out, but is that always the case? I don't know. Hopefully, I would like to say that they always help out, but I've heard of trainers that wouldn't wake up. So I know at least if I'm training you during the winter time, I'm going to be up in that seat over there, and I'm going to walk you through it, and we're going to do it safely. Gifty's even seen some snow and stuff like that this year. Like, we went to Kansas City and it got dumped on. So, I mean, there was a lot of snow over there, and it was great learning experience. Slow down. This is how you drive on it. So, it's real good. Do you chain up a lot to run? I don't chain up. I ain't gonna lie. I'm the captain of my ship. And if the roads have so much snow on them that they're requiring chains, I'm going to pull over and I'm going to wait for them to clear off that road. I can drive on ice. Ice is not a problem. A lot of people think that the chains are for ice. Chains are not for ice. The chains are for that deep snow, so you can get traction and get a grip to dig in that snow to get you up the mountain, or like somewhere where it's real deep. So I'd rather just pull over, captain of my ship. If the snow's that tall, that high, I'm just going to pull over somewhere where it's safe and wait till they clean up the roads, and then I'll get back on the road. It's a lot of work to chain up, and you're out there in the freezing cold. Usually it's like a little side of the road where there's not much room. So you're out there standing on the side of the road, trucks are coming by, traffic's coming by. I'd rather just wait till like I'm somewhere, just park somewhere safe than stand out there, and you know, you could get hit by a car just standing there putting on chains. So, you know, it's kind of dangerous to be out there. So I'd rather just stop and wait until it's cleared off enough to drive on it again. I'd rather drive on an open road with no restrictions than a restricted road. The best part about it being a trainer? That's a good question right there. In my opinion, the best part of being a trainer is whenever I hear from my students like a while down the road, and they can tell me how successful they are and how much trucking has changed their life. Like, it's a good feeling whenever I see some of my students over there becoming becoming trainers themselves. You know, that's a little bit of me through them teaching their students. So that's more of me getting out there, my teachings and my training. So it feels good. Any way to empower somebody or make somebody better, I love to do. Like, if I can motivate somebody to do better and I can teach someone to do better, like, that's the best feeling in the world about powering somebody to go further. I've had students that looked at the small picture. Oh, I'm going to get my CDL and I'm going to make money. Well, come on, let's keep on making ourselves better. Let's keep going further. You know, push yourself. I started out as a solo company driver. I had a teammate that was that came out here with me, but until he got finished with his trainer, I was a company solo driver. So what I did is, whenever he wasn't on the truck, I solo drove. Whenever he got on the truck, I team drove. It was more money. When he left, I started training. I figured doing TNTs would be like having another teammate. So it was more money. And you know, I did my first TNT student and I was figuring it out, and I was like, you know what? I just want to do PSD. You know, it's still real good money, and I can still survive on what I'm getting paid, and I can teach a lot more people. I didn't know how much it was going to pay until like I started doing it for a while, and it pays great. The pay is good. So, you know, and also this, seeing like some of the students that were nobody else could train, that I got to pass their test. Like, I take students that failed the test. I had a guy that failed the test twice, and then they gave him to me to test him. I was his third test after I tested him, and I got him to pass. Like, that puts me up like on cloud 9. You know, I just got a guy that the other trainers couldn't get him a pass. And I taught them, and I got them to pass. Like, some of my foreign guys, like especially my guys from Africa, like, after they pass the test, man, that's a great feeling, because they're so excited. Sometimes they run up and jump on me, like, boom, hug me, like almost knock me down, because they passed their test. You know, that feels great. So, you know, and bettering yourself, back to what I was saying, as long as you keep bettering yourself every year, that's a plus. So I try to better myself every year. So every year at Prime, I've moved up. And I feel like I'm on the top right now, but I still got goals out there I can reach. Like, someday I might want to be the instructor of the year. I might want to get into that fight and try to become instructor of the year. Flatbed Tim Taylor has it right now, you know, and every time I see him, I pay him my respect. I'm all like, there's number one, there's Tim Taylor, number one, trainer of the year, number one. I mean, that's good stuff. Maybe I want to be that guy sometime. Somebody can come tell me I'm number one. What's this here? The pre-trip, I've been trying to find a copy of it too. Highway Junkie. I mean, it's hard to find a copy of it, because I would like a PDF file that I could email. I've asked about it and haven't got anywhere with it. So pretty much whenever you get here, they got the pre-trip paper in there. You'll get it from training, and that's how it is. Let's see here. Sent you an email. Did you get it? Coming to Pittston in February. Highway Junkie, I didn't see an email. I'll have to check it again. I've been checking it every like day. I really don't notice people are sending me nothing, so it might be a problem with my email. So try to send it again, and if I can't get it like that, then add me to Snapchat or Instagram and message me there. So now a couple guys have found me on Facebook, and they message me on Facebook. I really don't want to fill up my Facebook with a bunch of people I don't know. I'm kind of like, that's my private area, I guess you would call it. It's my, like, hey, that's my Facebook with like my family and my close friends. Like, I don't kind of want it to build up to be a lot of people. Maybe I'll make a new Facebook someday, and, you know, just for this YouTube. And maybe that'll be easier to get a hold of me. And Junkie, I don't have an opening in February, so whenever February comes around, if they put you on my truck, man, that'll be great. We'll learn how to do this. So I'll teach you how to drive safe. You know, all it takes is listening. If you're listening, you can learn. If you don't listen, then you can't learn. I mean, that's the hardest thing, is being able to open your ears and listen. So, like, I go by pretty much the Prime computer matching process is what they go by. and I pretty much let it match whoever it matches to me, unless I find somebody like Gifty. Like, he came to me, he said, look, I've been watching all of your videos, I learned from you, I put you down as a referral, and he's all like, I want you to be my trainer. You know, we responded back and forth. You know, we got to kind of, like, I guess you would say, get to know each other a little bit, and that's how he got on my truck. And the bad thing about you driving 40 years ago, it should be easy. The bad thing with that is you have your way, and it's going to be hard for somebody that trains you to get you to be like, forget everything you learned and that you know from back then, because guess what? It's all brand new. We're doing this my way. Sorry about that, Ace. Whoop whoop. Gotta tell my juggalos what's up. The family. You been to any shows, Ace? I set up some of my roommates' requests today with the smoking aspect. So, Sean, are you a smoker looking to be on a smoker's truck? Is that what you're saying? Fort Wayne, Indiana, right up the road. Did you go to the... Well, you probably didn't, but I didn't make it either. But I wanted to go to the gathering of the Juggalos over there. I can't remember where it was at this year, but I wanted to go. I wanted to drive my semi over there and park it in there, because your semi has the bed and everything. I vape, no smoking. I vape, no smoking too, so... But I see what you're saying. Like, the guys that vape, I usually get non-smoking students, and I always have to say, hey, look, I vape, and let's meet there. For sure, sometime we have to do that. I'll meet you there. But the vaping students, or the students I get that don't vape, I always tell them, hey, look, I vape. Is that going to be an issue? And they ask you if you can deal with people that can vape. So, you know, they already kind of know that their trainer might be a vapor, because they put down that they don't really mind it. So I never had a problem with it. Do you ever want to join the Prime Drivers Advisory Board? No. Don't want it. I had a friend that was on it. A good friend that spoke his mind, and you know, I don't want to put too much of his business out there, but he was a straight up guy. He didn't give you this political answer of what the answer should be. He gave you like, hey, you know, this is how it should be. This is what we need to do. Hey, open these doors. Let us know what's going on here. You know, this is a company with open doors. And he was trying to get information, and he was trying to do the right thing. And as far as I know, I think that he stepped down off the board because maybe it wasn't working out, or I really don't want to get into it, but I know something happened where he was all like, you know what, I'm done. You know, I try to work with y'all and I'm done. So I really don't want to get into that boat with them. You know, I've been asking them to get a bus for Pittston, PA, to bring the students to the pad a lot better. They need another bus. And they just gave me the runaround. Good. Get your CDL, Ace. That's for sure. I have the Hatchet Mans all over my truck. So, like, it would be bad. It would be cool if I could take it to the gathering of the Juggalos. Park it up there somewhere. Set up before I leave. Sean, travel light. I got videos on my channel. They were like older videos whenever I started... Whenever I started making this YouTube. Like, they're not the greatest videos, but it's going to show you, hey, you only got so much room on that top bunk. So travel light, basketball shorts, t-shirts. When you get out the truck, you can put on your winter gear, like your thicker jackets, your jeans, you know, whatever. But just travel light. You're going to be in a truck driving. You want to be comfortable. So wear comfortable stuff. How long is orientation for Prime? All right, the orientation part is 3 to 4 days now. Like I've seen them do classes in 3 days, and I've seen them do it in 4. So it's pretty much Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the orientation part's over. So you should get your badge on Thursday. As soon as you get your badge, this is where there's a lot of confusion. As soon as you get your badge, you can start driving a truck and you can get a trainer. You're eligible to get a trainer. Once you get that trainer, he'll go out and he'll train you, and he can keep you out as long as he wants. Whenever he feels like you're ready to test out, he'll bring you out to test you out. Now, where a lot of people get a little bit messed up is they're all like, well, the federal government says that I need to hold my permit for 14 days before I can test out. So what happens is you have people that want to test out. They're all like, I want to test out, I'm ready. And it's like, no, you can't just test out because you had that permit for 14 days already. You have to be cleared by Prime. Prime added their own rule to that. You have to be cleared by Prime for 14 days to go. Before 14 days, you have to be cleared by Prime before they'll let you test. That's Prime's rule. So they're adding on to the 14 day that the federal government says that you need to keep that permit for 14 days before you can test out. Prime's like, we're going to go a step above that. As soon as you're cleared by Prime, we're going to wait 14 days till you're eligible to test. So if you're counting that as an orientation, you're going to probably be like 18 days. Ace, who are you going through with C1? C1. Did I miss something? What is C1? Oh, okay. Sorry, I was lost for a minute. Driver training in Indianapolis. Okay. I think I've seen those trucks before. I think we might have one somewhere around here in Springfield too. If I remember right, I seen in the industrial area where I take my students to drive sometimes to work on the right-hand turns. I'm pretty sure that they have a C1 truck and trailer that they teach students how to drive over there. It might not be the same place, but the only problem, like when we're talking about trucking schools versus Prime training program, if you want to know my opinion of it, is yeah, it's nice to get your license real quick and pay for it all up front and get it if you can afford it. Now the negative side to it is you're not guaranteed a job. Like with Prime, after you pass your CDL, you're hired on. You got a job. All you have to do is fulfill that year-long contract. So I mean, that's a good thing right there, is that you have a job. You're not like, oh, I got my CDL, and you go try to work somewhere and they're all like, we require 6 months of experience out there. And you're like, oh, I don't have nothing, So with Prime, you're getting driving experience, and you're out there pretty much learning out. Like, you have the 10,000 miles for the PSD, and then you have the 50,000 miles for the TNT. So you have once you finish all the way to get your own truck and you go on your first load, you have pretty much 60,000 miles of variable driving experience for your next job, at least. So PSD trainers are assigned to students by the way of the matching system of some kind. Yes, you get on a computer and it's going to ask you all these, it's going to have all these sentences, and it wants you to rate them, the highest ones for the most important to you and the lowest ones that are not important to you. So it might be about cleanliness, it might be about doing the right thing, it might be about hard work, it might be like, hey, if you have a problem, can you find a shorter way to do it? Do you like writing a problem out, or are you better hands-on? Are you better reading something? And there's a bunch of questions, but a lot of it's about like pride, you know, just like pride, you know, cleanliness. I mean, all like the fundamentals, like pretty much. And you put them in the order, and pretty much you're putting them all in the order, and it's gonna rate you, and then it rates you by what you felt was most important to you. So whenever you go out there and you get a trainer, they're gonna take the trainer, and they're gonna take you, and they're gonna see what kind of match you two are. If you're a good match, then they're gonna put that person on your truck. So, or actually, they're gonna tell you all, go have your interview. The student and the trainer is gonna go have their interview, and they're gonna pretty much get to know each other, and they're gonna talk about the roles of the truck and stuff like that. They're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff. You know, they might ask you, where are you from? What kind of work did you do before this? You know, just basic like interview type stuff. And they're gonna just ask you why you came out to trucking, why you're thinking of trucking, and all that. And pretty much after that, y'all can go out and start your training. Start learning how to drive safe. Start learning how to back. Start learning your pre-trip. What's going on, Railcar 52? How are you doing, man? I'm doing great. I'm sitting at the house. My wife's going to repaint these walls sometime, so this won't be yellow down here. We bought this house last year, and my wife's pretty much painted the upstairs and the basement down here, which is our entertainment room. They chose this safety high-vis yellow, so, you know, she don't like it. So she's going to repaint it. Do you have the same trainer, PSD and TNT? Sometimes you do. It depends on who you get. There's a lot of trainers that like doing PSD and TNT. They like taking the student from the start to the end, and they're fine with that. They can sleep when the truck's moving. They teach that student everything when they first get them, so they teach them everything. Once they got them taught in everything, then they move on to the TNT phase, and pretty much they're running as a team truck. They don't have to get up all the time to like help out with paperwork and stuff like that, because they taught you it all in the first 2 or 3 weeks. So that works out better for them. And TNT phase was okay. I mean, I really don't like sleeping in a moving truck. Like, I don't, like, pretty much in the moving truck, what I would do is I'd be like, man, please, Jesus, take the wheel tonight. Let me wake up in the morning. I mean, my student, Tyler and Joshua, they were great drivers. I taught them both, you know, they were great. But there's still always that, in my mind, there's always that fear of, hey, something might happen tonight out of my control. So it was hard to sleep, and so that's why I don't do it, is I don't like the TNT phase. I'll see you in Pittston in February. I'm hoping to get back down there to Pittston, because I would really like to train down there some more. There's great people down there, and I like the attitude that terminal has. Like, They are dead serious with the students over there, and they make sure you know, hey, pre-trip is your job. You need to do your pre-trip. Study, study, study. You know, it's up to you. Nobody can put that pre-trip in your head. And that's hard. The hardest part of training for us instructors is the hardest part is getting somebody to learn their pre-trip, because I can't put that in your head. No matter what I do, I cannot put that in your head. I can teach you backing. We can do it until you get it right. I can jump back and watch you do it for a while till you get it right. You know, it's up to you to get it right, and that's a lot of listening. The pre-trip is a lot of you memorizing stuff. And it's kind of harder for some reason, it's hard for people to memorize stuff. Made it home for home time also. Heck yeah. Home time's great. You enjoy it. Are you scared of AB5 going national? AB5. I'm gonna have to Google that. I don't even know what AB5 is. I'm glad I brought this extra cell phone over here. Oh, yeah. I don't have nothing to do with that because I'm a company guy. Doesn't affect me pretty much. I mean, like, I'm company. That's for the leasers. What's I'm worried about is the issue that Illinois just did that nobody's talking about. And for everyone watching this video, is in Illinois, they came up with this new tax law for them. And what they're doing is if anyone works in that state for 30 days or more a year, then they're going to charge them taxes for the state of Illinois. So if I live in Missouri and I drive through Illinois, which it don't take long to drive through it, there's 1 day. I deliver a load there, that's 2 days. If it doesn't deliver till the next day, that might be 3 days. If I pick up a load to get out of there the next day, that might be 4 days. You know, and if you're going through there more than 30 times, they're gonna try to charge you, make you pay taxes over there. And I don't know how that's gonna work out. Like, I've been looking at research because I wanted to do a video on this Illinois thing. But what happened is a truck driver said that I ran into him in Illinois the other day when I was fueling up. There was a video of Gifty sitting in the truck eating an apple, and I was fueling up. He came up to me. He said, "Hey, how's Prime treating you?" I said, "Man, amazing." So what he did is he goes, "Well, man, I got to find a new company." He goes, "Does Prime come up here to Illinois much?" I was like, "Yeah, every once in a while." And he pretty much goes, "Well, the company I'm at now, back in 2003, 2004, it was an Illinois local company. And in 2003, 2004, Illinois came up with this tax for all the commercial vehicles, pretty much moving companies, any local commercial vehicle company that they had, they were charging them taxes and stuff like that. And the business on every truck, for every truck, they were going to have to pay like $2,000 or something like that. So what they did is all those businesses moved to Indiana, he was telling me. And I looked it up and I saw a little bit of stuff about that. So I know that there was some truth in it. So they all moved to Indiana, but they work in Illinois. So 2020, they passed a law saying that if you work more than 30 days in the state of Illinois, you will also pay them Illinois taxes. So that company said, "You know what? We're shutting down after Christmas. We're not going to play with this Illinois stuff." because all of our stuff is in Illinois. So supposedly he was going to be jobless. So I'm still doing research on it, trying to figure out what's going on. Like if that's going to affect us truck drivers. It definitely affected his country. I mean, his company. So it definitely affected them. So I'm trying to figure out if it's going to affect me. Because I don't want to pay more taxes. I pay a lot of taxes. I pay so much taxes, man. The guy at McDonald's in 1 month, he makes less than how much taxes I pay in 1 week. So it's not like taxes are eating me alive over here. Still surviving though. You can't take my shine. Leasing. What's the difference between company and leasing? Company, I'm not paying for fuel. I'm not paying for tires. I'm not paying for the truck. I'm not paying nothing. So like I'm not paying tolls. If the truck breaks down, I don't pay for it. You know, pretty much if I drive a mile, I'm getting paid a cent per mile. Lease, you're gonna pay that truck, you're gonna pay the tires, you're gonna pay the fuel, you're gonna pay everything. You're gonna make a percentage of the load, so you're getting paid different. You might take one short load that's gonna pay for like 2 days worth of my driving. You know, you're gonna make a lot of money if you know how to manage your truck and if you're getting those good loads. The thing is, when you go home, you're not getting paid that week. So you're gonna go home, you're still gonna owe that truck payment. So you're gonna go in the negative, or you got an emergency fund set up to take care of that truck payment. Lease is a big risk taker. Like, if I didn't have no kids and I wasn't married, I'd probably take that risk. I'd go see what it's about. What's the worst thing that happened? I'm gonna lose some weight because I'm stressed out. That would be good for me. Losing some weight because of stress. But I'm not a big risk taker. I want a check coming in every week, and I don't want to owe money. I don't want to have a check that says I'm negative so much money. I've had friends that are negative, and they've been negative for a while. I had students that got out there and said, I'm jumping right to lease. I recommend staying company for 6 months. You make all your mistakes in the first 6 months, so after that, you're good. I mean, let Prime pay for your mistakes. Be company, let Prime pay for them. Don't do that on your lease truck and you have to pay for it. You know, it's not up to me to talk somebody into company or lease. That's up to them. And you know, my students, they pick whatever they want. If they need any help, they can call me. Joshua Dyson, he needed my help. He called me and I took care of him. You know, so like my students don't need to be scared to call me. Whenever I'm a man of my word. If I say that you can call me when you need help, that means call me. I don't think Joshua expected me to help him, but guess what? He called me, needed help. I finished up his miles. You know, he was almost done with training and something happened. Somehow his trainer rolled that truck. Joshua wasn't driving. He was asleep. He was like, man, this is a bad situation. So instead of having him get sent home, set at home, and, you know, all the mess he was going to have to deal with, I called up my fleet manager. I didn't even tell Joshua. I wanted it to be a surprise. I called my fleet manager, said, hey, I'm going to go pick up my student Joshua. This just happened to him. So I went and picked up Joshua. We jumped in the truck and we took off to run loads. And we finished his miles. So whenever I tell my students, hey, call me if you need anything, that does mean call me. I will help you to the best of my abilities. Whether it's I'm not getting along with my trainer, or it's, hey, I got my own truck, but I don't know nothing. I've had I had a student get off of TNT, and his trainer didn't teach him the paperwork. He was calling me all the time. Hey, I just got to my first place I ever picked up from. What do I do? I said, did you send your message that you arrived? He was like, what is that? I was like, oh. I said, your trainer didn't teach you how to do that? Nah, man, I already checked in. I'm parking the dog. I was like, what was your appointment time? He told me he still had time to send the arrival. I was like, send the arrival before they put you late. So, you know, I helped him all the time over the phone. We still talk all the time. Real good guy. Real good guy. You know, but he calls me all the time. If he needs help, I'll be there. I'll help him out every time. He calls me all the time, and I help him out. He didn't even know how to fill out a trip sheet because his trainer didn't teach him. No CDL transfers allowed. Okay, hold on, I missed something. I'm from Illinois. Even though you get your CDL in Missouri, PA, or Utah, you still have to complete CDL testing to get your Illinois license. As far as I know, and I've heard of somebody else asking that same question from Illinois. Somebody told me in Illinois that when you take your test scores back to Illinois, that they have you retest. As far as I know, and as far as I heard right now, you don't have to retest over there, because all you're doing is you have your test score from an accredited school, Prime. You know, it's approved. You know, you took a test, a fair test. You have the test scores from it. As far as I know, you go over there and give them the test scores, and they just go ahead and cut you a CDL. So, no CDLs transfers allowed. It's not transferring your CDL. It's turning in your test scores to get your CDL. So you're not going from a Missouri CDL to Illinois CDL. Trucker Matt. What's up? Not much. As long as you get back to your home state within 15 days. That's true. That's true right there. You're going to get your test scores, and Prime's going to tell you that they want you to get home within 15 days to go and get your license transferred. So that's right. Any longer than that, you'll have to do it again. I'm not sure about that. I'm not 100% sure on that. Hey, look at that. Highway Junkie knows you. Yeah, Dean, it never hurts to call and ask. What's the worst they're going to tell you? No? Okay. Well, congratulations on the trifecta. Not everybody gets assigned that clipboard if you're in Springfield. Who were you you tested out today? I was over there at the pad today, so you should have said hi if I was over there around the building. Most of the time, whenever I'm out there, I just do my work and then I leave. Like, I never go in the building. So, get about 14K miles under my belt. Shoot, get 100,000 miles under your belt. Get the truck moving. 14K in PSD. Were you over the road for like 3 weeks? If you're a solo driver, you want to drive about 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week. So that's where I was like, Only did 1 week in PSD. 1 week and you got 14,000 miles? You must have been going fast. On the teen truck, some people have been asking about TNT phase, like how long does it take and all that, all that. If you want to kind of do the math yourself, you want to take 5,000 miles a week and you want to divide that by the 50,000 miles. And then however much home time you're taking and stuff like that. Say you're taking a week off here and a week off there, whatever you're taking off. You need to figure that into it, and that'll tell you about how long it's going to take. Okay, that's better. TNT down it's been 2 weeks. Okay. So y'all are running. So you're probably doing like 7,000 miles a week. That's really good. Sometimes it's going to slow down. You must have been getting those long hauls and they're dropping hooks at both ends and just running. So that's good. And you want a TNT trainer that's going to run hard like that. So that's good mileage right there. And that's a good attitude to have right there. Because he says, I'm in no rush to get my own truck. I really want to learn as much as I can from my trainer, like a sponge. That's a good saying right there. You want to learn as much as you can. You're new to the game. Soak it up. Lots of long hauls and drops and hooks. Yep, called it. And probably a lot of drops in the drop yard too, because you probably got there early. Does it pay when you start PSD? What's it pay when you start PSD? 0. They don't get paid, and you get debt when you're on PSD. You're getting debt. They give you a loan of $200 a week. They'll put it on your card. It'll be on there Friday. Every Friday you get a loan of $200, and that's to live on that week. So whatever you get, you want to buy groceries or food or eat out with, you want to save it. And you're going to pay it back. It's an interest-free loan. You need that money to survive. You need that money to eat on. So take advantage of the interest-free loan. You might as well, like I did. I took it all out all the time. Give me a loan, no interest. I just have to pay it back in little payments. Give it to me. So PSD, you're not getting paid. You're getting into debt. Starting a new career in debt. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's PSD's a loan. TNT is where you start making money. In the TNT phase, you're going to get that $700 a week guarantee. And if you want to know how that works, it's 7 days a week. It's the days you're available for dispatch. If you're available Monday, that's 100. Tuesday, that's 100. Wednesday, actually our pay week goes Tuesday to Tuesday. At Prime, your pay week goes Tuesday to Tuesday. So it's $100 a day you're available for dispatch. If you're at home and you're not available for dispatch, guess what? You're not getting paid. So when you go on home time and you're not available for dispatch, you're not going to get paid. If you come out in the middle of a week, you're not going to get that $700 guarantee. You're going to get $100 a day that you're there. No, I'm not back in Pittston yet. I kind of wish I was. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing my house. I don't see it much, but I'm ready to get back to Pittston and get back on the roll. $700 on the truck. Don't plan if it goes home. Yep, that's right. Don't plan on getting the money if your trainer goes home. Sean, you tested 3 times with my student, right? I'm pretty sure Sean Miller is the guy that he was out there with. Yeah, Daryl for sure. But I'm pretty sure Sean was a cool little dude that took his test a couple times. He was struggling.
So like $20.
Well, that's good, Sean, that you finally got past your test. It was, I know you were struggling, and I know you wanted it bad. Sean had some problems with his pre-trip. Day before his test, he was all like, I'm going to be a trifecta. You know, he was ready. He was chomping at the bits, but had a problem with his pre-trip. So he improved it, came back the next time to test, knocked that pre-trip out of the way. Pre-trip's the hardest thing. He had a good trainer, Daryl. I think he was like my student that week. He had a retest, and you know, I felt bad for him, but he was so nervous on the test. Good guy, but he was nervous on the test. But Sean, you know what? You got your CDL. That's what's important, and you're out there doing your thing, making it work. It's good to see that you're still around, Sean, because you wanted it bad. I could see it in your eyes. Hey, welcome to the channel. Thanks for subscribing. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, definitely. Sean's right. Y'all study that pre-trip. It's really important. Yes. My wife's over here bugging me. Where are you running to?
No.
She was at the store. She just came home. She decided to come bug me. Why don't you get on here and why don't you go watch it on your phone and like it? That way I'll get a like.
Okay.
I'll get that little thumbs up.
Bye.
Oh, Sean, you didn't study? Well, that was your problem, dude.
Honesty is key.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean, that's a problem if you didn't study. That's not good. That happens sometimes. People don't take the pre-trip as important. They think they'll knock it out the park, but you know, it's not good. I left during a bad storm. What a wreck. Yeah. Storms are horrible. Yeah, man, I'm glad to hear that you're still out there, Sean. You know, I'm really glad. I hope you have the best time out there, because man, I know you didn't trifecta like you wanted, but I could tell that you really wanted this, because dude, it was cold out there, and you were out there doing your pre-trip. Like, you were standing out there in the freezing cold. You were covered completely up. You were shivering. Your face was red. And I was all like, man, I'm in full overalls in all my winter gear, and I'm freezing out there. So I know you were cold. That shows how bad you wanted it, because you stood out there and you didn't even come in for hours. Like, you were out there like, man, I got to learn this pre-trip. They're about to send me home. And look at that. Sean took 1 day to learn his entire pre-trip, the day after his first test. And he learned it all. So look at that. That means you learned your whole pre-trip in 1 day. Shoot, I got people out there that's been out there studying pre-trip for 3, 4, 5 days straight, like on the pad out there. Pretty much I get to a point where I'm just like, I'm going to sit right here in the truck. I'm going to look in my mirror and I'm going to watch this dude do pre-trip because this is the only way to get him to do it. How's your new PSD student doing? He driving the rig better? You're talking about my new student, Jesus or Jesus or JJ or Jesse. He went out there today and he listened to everything I said. He was out there driving like a beast. He was watching his mirror. He was doing everything I told him to. So he's doing awesome. I haven't asked him if he minds if we do some videos. Maybe ask him about his experience out here, how he feels and stuff like that. He might go ahead and do that. I hope he does. The guy I have now, Gifty. Gifty is studying his pre-trip still. We were supposed to go and that's my wife right there, Sarah Cox. Boom, what's up? But he's doing, you know, I gave him time to do his pre-trip and he's still struggling it. I told him I wanted the entire pre-trip done by a certain day. You know, it wasn't done, but he said he's gonna have it done by the morning tomorrow. So whenever I get there in the morning, I'm expecting a perfect pre-trip. And hopefully he has a perfect pre-trip, or we're gonna have to figure something out because he has to get it down. Like he's, you know, we're a trucking family out there on the pad, like us trainers, and you know, we know if you're out there studying. Like if you had, we'll use Daryl for instance. If Daryl's student was out there studying pre-trip and Daryl told me, hey, my student's out there studying pre-trip, I'll be like, okay. Man, my student will be out here working. If you're out there studying your pre-trip, I'll text Daryl. I'll be like, hey, Daryl, man, your dude's still out here working. But if that guy just takes off, I'm going to get a phone call. Hey, your student was over there for 1 hour studying and then he left and never seen him again. Or he was out there for 30 minutes and then he left. You know, that's not the phone calls I like. But, you know, it's not that I'm spying on you. It's just we're a family out there that we call each other all the time and talk to each other. Who's old? He's not that old. I got him beat. Are you there doing it with him or just expect him to learn it on his own? I'm like this. Pre-trip is on you. Like, you're going to have to learn that pre-trip. No matter, I'd had a student that, like, I stood out there and did it with him and pointed at an alternator and kept telling him everything to say belt-driven alternator. And until he wanted to learn it, he never learned it. So I'm like, hey, dude, you need to be out here studying it. You need to do this, you know, do it. So whenever he has a question on it, I'm going to help him out and I'm going to answer his question. If he's not doing it, because I tell people all the time, hey, go do your pre-trip, let's go do your pre-trip. And they're not going to do it. They have to want this. If you want this bad, you will do your pre-trip. You will show how much you want this. So it's on you. You need to get out there and do it. The only way to learn it is to do it. And Sean Miller, right there, he's exactly right. You have to learn it on your own. Sean's a perfect example of that. He just said that he didn't really study it too much. Or really, he said he didn't study it. And he didn't get a trifecta. Looks like the paper they give you, go to the truck. And it says it to yourself 1,000 times. It will come to you. I had to do it myself. Yeah, you have to do it yourself. Like, for real, it's like, when I did mine, I got out there and did it. Met you in Pittston. Trying to think. I meet a lot of people in Pittston. So, like, I meet people in the classroom. I meet people at the lunch. I meet people walking to my truck. I meet people upstairs, you know. I would love to say I know who you are. I'm glad we met. Hopefully we talked. So, but I don't know. And you might, like, soon as I see you, I'm better with faces than name. And, like, that's not even your real name right there, because I don't think your parents named you Railcar 52, but yeah, I had it down the first day. I was on the pad. I got 0 points on my pre-trip. But I do think some people learn with their trainers is all. Hey, look, if my student's out there studying it a lot and he's putting out a lot, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to study it with him. I'm going to be like, dude, let's see what you know. And that's what I did with Gifty. As soon as he was out there studying the engine compartment, and I waited till he looked like he had it down, I jumped out there, hey, let's hear it. You know, so sit down with you at lunch. Okay, there was a guy, you might have been the guy that was setting with us whenever you were a new student and I told you about my channel. And I think that you were there whenever, the day I picked up, about the time I picked up Gifty, he was in your class, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Because I remember sitting down with somebody at lunch. It was the safety meeting for breakfast, if I remember right. And I remember talking to a guy, who knows, Railcar, and you might not be that guy. Someday meet me up, hit me up at Springfield or something. Be like, hey, that's who I am. And I'll be like, oh, okay, I remember. Actually, I got 4 points on my whole CDL test. Shoot, that's great. Let me guess, 4 points on the drive. Just guessing. 4 points on the drive. I bet he got 0 on his pre-trip, 0 on his back-end. Yep, that's who I was thinking of. I didn't want to say the older guy. It kind of sounds mean or something. Yeah, you were cool, dude. You get a good trainer, I hope. 2 points on the back-end and 2 on the drive. I don't know why. I figured that usually whenever somebody has a really good pre-trip, it's usually 0 points on the back end and all the points on the drive. Because if you can learn that pre-trip, then you learn how to back fast. And then driving, you're always going to get some points in driving. Like, the average on the driving is anywhere from, like, I would say probably 4 to 6 points. Somewhere in there. So on your drive, that's really good. 2 on the drive, and it was probably leaving a blinker on too long or turning one off too early. So yeah, that's good. You got a good trainer, because I really liked you. Like, if I had the time, or I could have took you as a student, I would have, because you were really cool, man. And you were like, you seemed like you were gonna study and you were gonna do great. So all right, junkie. Good night, man. Shoot, you watch a lot of channels and you watch a lot of lives, so get some rest. You've probably been out working all day watching these lives. I see Highway Junkie all the time. He's like a trucking fan for sure. Like, he just watches trucking channels all day. Like, good dude right there. He's never said nothing negative, so got the bagging down. Even did the alley dog. No pull-ups. just crossed the line. It's all good. I really love my new job. I earned it. Yeah. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, brother. Hope 2020 is better than this year. Man, I gotta go get some sleep. Well, shoot, everyone's leaving. I might as well go to bed, man. Y'all hit those thumbs up on this video if y'all don't mind. If anyone in here is not a subscriber, subscribe. And, you know, I hope y'all like this kind of live chat right here. I would like to do it more because this was a lot of fun. I've never done this before, and it was a lot of fun. So I don't even know how to turn this off. I really don't even want to mess with my video by even trying. But yeah, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and y'all be safe out there. Sean, you take care, and you definitely be safe out there. Good night and goodbye.